Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to do a quick update on the injury situation. It's been now 2 weeks since the crash that broke my collarbone, and it's going so far so good. I got a little bit of, I can move my arm a little bit. I'm in like a figure 8 clavicle brace, I guess they call it, which is way better than the sling. I can actually move my arm and stuff, which is nice, better than being restricted in a sling. So update on the situation, I have an appointment coming up a week from Tuesday to do a final x-ray to kind of see how it's healing, and then from there we'll decide whether we need surgery or not. I'm pretty optimistic right now that I'm hoping I don't need surgery, that it's feeling reasonably good. Like I said, I have some more range of motion, and it's feeling not bad, all things considered. Been on the trainer a couple times just recently, and that's feeling good to get doing that again. And so I'm hoping in 6 weeks I can maybe be out doing some gravel riding. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. So anyways, this video I shot it a week before the crash, so just thought I'd release it now. You guys can check it out. I'm servicing a SR Suntour Durolux fork. It was the original fork off the Spartan. Took that off, did a full service on it, and here's the video now. All right guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on the channel we're going to be servicing the Durolux 36 that I took off the Spartan. You saw that video last week where I put the new EQ version on the bikes. So I'll show you guys how easy it is to service your SR Suntour forks, and we'll just show you the tools you're going to need to do that. So these are the tools we're going to need to do the service. We're going to need a 10mm socket to take off the lowers. You're going to need just an open-ended wrench, doesn't need to be any specific size. That's going to be to remove the dust seals. So you're going to want to make sure you have replacement dust seals. I got these from Suntour. I got replacement dust seals and the foam wipers we're going to replace in the forks. You're going to need some grease. This is just the Suntour grease they sent me. You can also use like RockShox, what do they call that? Slick honey, I think they call it. Any kind of fork grease will work fine. Just a small little screwdriver to remove the O-ring off the rebound adjust. A hammer, just a soft hammer like this. Some alcohol to clean everything, and I just have some fork oil here that we're going to soak the foam wipers in. Doesn't need to be any specific. This is just the WPL 20 weight suspension oil. It could be any suspension oil or any oil really. And the last thing you're going to need is something to set the dust seals into the lowers. I got this tool from R3 Pro. They make 3D printed tools, and they sent me this. This is a 36mm setting tool that basically will allow me to set the dust seal into the fork. So first thing you want to make sure you do any service on your fork is remove all the air from the fork. I've made the mistake of taking off the lowers and having like air in there, and the lowers basically shoot off. You don't want to do that. So make sure you take all the air out of the fork before doing this kind of service to it. Press that there and just let all the air out of the fork. You could also do this service with the fork on the bike. It'd be just as easy. So first thing you want to do is remove the rebound adjustment knob, and it just pulls off. It might be tight on there, but it literally just pulls off like so. So you just take that off, set that aside, and there's a little O-ring on here. You're just going to want to remove that with your screwdriver like so, and set that aside. Now you're going to take your 10mm, and this is going to remove, just going to remove the 2 bolts on the bottom of the lowers. They shouldn't be super duper tight, so you should be able to just remove them. So, and there's going to be a small washer. It might be stuck to the bottom of the fork. Just make sure you get that washer off with the nut there. The same on the other side. And again, there'll be a washer there. Just make sure that you have it there. So you should be able to pull these lowers off. Now they might be tight if you've never done this before. And one thing you can do if they are a little bit tight is just to screw that nut slightly back on there, and you can just tap it with a hammer, with like a mallet, and that'll loosen the lowers. Mine are pretty loose because I've done this before, so it'll pull right off. So I should just pull this right off like so. Now just while you have this, it's a good time to clean everything, all the grease off of there. Now one thing you notice with SR Suntour Forks is there's no oil. If this was RockShox or Fox, we would have some oil spilling out all over the place, but Suntour just uses grease as a lubricant. Some people, I'm not sure they fully believe in that or think that's a good idea, but that's what they do, and it actually makes servicing your forks easier because you don't have to deal with oil all over the place. All right, so you can see kind of how gross these are here. I could probably clean them. They've only been one season. You don't necessarily have to replace your dust seals and foam rings, but since I have them, I'm going to show you how to replace them. But you could just clean these, wipe them off, and they'd probably be fine. But what we're going to do is we're going to remove them, just taking an open-ended wrench here, and you can see I'm just putting that in there like so, and then I should be able to pop this out. A little tricky, but you can kind of see it coming out there. Just work it around. Sorry.
Just hit the cameraman.
Sorry, that yeah, that flew out and hit the cameraman. Good friend Jinder, you've seen him on the channel before. He's being my cameraman today.
I don't remember me.
So we're also going to remove the foam ring. Like so. And we'll do the other side. Try not to impale the cameraman. There. So as you can see, guys, doing your own fork service is not that tricky. I know a lot of people are intimidated working on their forks, but really it's not rocket science. So now with all those out of there, we're going to go ahead and clean all this nicely.
So explain to me why you're doing this right now.
Just making a video to show the users, or show the people at home how easy it is to service their own forks.
Right on.
Just going to put a little bit of fork oil in here just to get those new foam rings, get some oil on them. Just going to put them in there. Let them sit for a few minutes, soak up that oil. So I just sprayed down the lowers with some rubbing alcohol and just going to clean them off right now while I have it, everything apart, clean it all up. Okay, so now I'm going to put the foam rings in here. Just want to put this coming in here. So I got the foam ring in there, the other one in here. Just sits right there. Now we're going to go ahead and put the new dust wipe in here. So I've never done this part before, so this will be new. So you're going to want to make sure you put like a rag or towel or something down underneath your forks, because we're going to be hammering down on this. So you're going to put the new dust seal, just sit it there on top of the opening. Now you could use like a piece of wood or or something to nail this down into there. But this is what I got, this tool here. It just fits over top of it like so, and then we can beat on this with the mallet, and that should set that down in there. Like so. So there we got their new dust seal on there. Handy little tool there from R3 Pro. They make all sorts of cool things. They make like helmet mounts for GoPros. I'm using it on my Fox Pro frame for the last couple of years. It's been pretty cool. So check them out. They got lots of cool little 3D printed things like this. All right, so we got the dust seals, the new dust seals in there, new foam rings in there. Now we're just going to go ahead and get some grease in there. So we're just going to take the grease and liberally apply it inside these on the new dust seals and around there inside here. Okay, so I got these all greased up in here. I'm going to put it back on the fork. Just make sure you do, I mean, it'd be easier if it is on the bike, just making sure you're putting this on the right way. So this is the air side here. So we'll go on this way here. And this should just slide on. Make sure you have it on there even. And then we'll just slide it back up until these are exposed at the bottom here. You'll see the bolts poking through the bottom. So now we'll just go ahead and put the nuts back on on the bottoms here. So we got this side is the rebound side. So we'll make sure we put the washers back on. This doesn't need to be ridiculously tight, just like so. We'll put our little O-ring back on the rebound knob and our little rebound adjustment. Put that back on. And we will just do one final cleanup. And there we go. We did a full lower service of the Durolux fork, replaced the dust seals, foam wipers, and man, that's pretty easy. That'd take like 10 minutes maybe to do that total, maybe 15 minutes. So guys, don't be afraid of servicing your own forks, especially these Suntour forks where you don't have to deal with oil and all that. That was super easy. So now all you'll have to do now is put it back on the bike, add your air pressure, and you're good to go. All right, so guys, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you learned something, how easy it is to service your fork. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Just hit that little logo in the bottom corner. Really appreciate it. Hopefully gonna be doing some cool stuff this year on the channel. So stay tuned, and until next time, keep your feet on the pedals.
Shut your face, Toogy, Howser!